Welcome back to round 2. We would like to play first. And we have a turn to pack red. And if that doesn't work out, we can always go for Trustani, I guess. I don't even remember playing a turn to pack red on Magic Online before, so our opponent is going to have to see if he can deal with that or not. So a red is certainly a mana that he could use to kill the pack red with cards like Electrickery. And if he's also black, there's actually many more cards he could have. I feel like the Key Rune is the worst card out of this bunch, and I do want to get the pack red token as soon as possible. And now we'll see if he has a chance of racing the pack red or not. I feel like just dropping a Guild Gate here, making a 3/3 and hitting for 6 doesn't seem like we are going to be blocking much this game. So the Centaur Healer isn't the worst, but Centaur's Herald only costs 1, so we can actually cast it to block for 1 turn. That might be more relevant. So actually, to be honest, we should probably get rid of this, because it's even less likely that we're going to need it. On the other hand, it's an amazing card, so yeah, I'll discard this. Could block the lizard here to waste his whole turn, but that doesn't seem like it's a winning play. We basically only need to survive 1 more turn. Attacking with 2 pack rats here brings him down quite low. The question is how much damage we can afford to take. Let's say he has a Diner Charge as an example, then we are going down to 9, and he has... we block 2 of his creatures and take 4, 5, 6, 7. Would be close, but I think we would survive a Dino Charge. Yeah, we can't take. Yeah, we probably can. So attacking with all 3 pack rats brings him down to 2, and if I only attack with 2 pack rats, he's down to 6. So that would mean that I still need 2 pack rats to get through next turn. It feels like bringing him down even lower is actually better. And he attacks with everything as expected, so we can just try to eat the Guild Mage with our pack rat and not take too much damage in the process. Yeah, let's see what happens. Dino Charge. So we got on to 1 as planned. Whew. Well, that was close, but we did think about the dangers of a Dino Charge and were pretty safe there. Now, this was a pack rat win, so we didn't have to do much work of our own. Kind of like any of these 2 cards against him, simply because his deck looked to be very aggressive. I think that Druid's Deliverance is actually very nice. Hero's Reunion looks pretty awful, but it can be quite potent considering that he has Gutter Snipe and Rakdos Guild Mage. Because he looks to be straight black-red, I'm going to take out Aerial Predation and put in Hero's Reunion. And I kind of also want the Druid's Deliverance, because I feel like if the game goes long enough, we are very favored to win. So I would love to find something else to take out, but maybe that's not possible. The Key Rune is kind of the weakest cards here, because it's so slow. I'm just going to go all in on the defensive measures. His deck looked to be quite powerful with the Guild Mage we can't handle otherwise, and so on. Also, the Populate makes our pack red insane. Yeah, we aren't giving up too much. I feel like Selesnya Key Rune is nice, but it's not very important for our mana curve, and Horncrawler's Chant and Aerial Predation are very likely just not that good against him. We also didn't have any trouble with our lands before, thanks to Gatecreeper Vine, so I think that's fine. Not taking a mulligan because we have Gatecreeper Vine here, and maybe we can get Trostani into play early enough. Now Selesnya Guildgate leaves me the option to go for the Pegasus instead, so I'm going to play that Guildgate instead. Of course, we would love to have Giant Growth up at some point, but if he doesn't have a 2-drop, everything is looking much nicer. Now we can get the Pegasus in play. So I feel like Gutter Snipe is going to be pretty bad against our Trostani. Well, at least as long as our plan comes together. We do need a Plains to cast Trostani, so let's get that out of the deck, and then we can play the Guild Gate. Now, he hasn't dealt us any damage, so Gutter Snipe doesn't look very threatening currently. And Annihilating Fire is unfortunate, especially because we couldn't keep open Giant Growth, but it only hit a Pegasus, so it's not that big of a deal. Just going to run out Trostani here, because if he doesn't kill it immediately, then we are just going to take over the game, because we can drop Gatecreeper Vine followed by Trestle Troll in the same turn. And he goes for a Traitorous Instinct, which is good, but probably not enough to kill us, because we get Trostani back, so everything I said still applies. Okay, that was a previous draft. Now we have 2 white, 1 black, 3 green. Could get another white or a black for the regeneration. Yeah, I think we can afford the black. And while we could attack with Trostani here, we are sufficiently far ahead that I don't want to risk anything. Okay, so Trostani dies, sadly, because we couldn't keep up on Giant Growth. But I feel like we just run everything out now and race him with our Golgari Longlegs. Hope that he doesn't have a second explosive impact. That would be kind of unfortunate. No, it doesn't look like he does. So Deathrite Shame is going to start dealing 2 to me in addition to Gutter Snipe, which means that I should gain some life once again pretty soon, but with the Trostani's Judgment in my hand, shouldn't really be in trouble. That's also very good for me because I can now Giant Growth very effectively, and got rid of another Annihilating Fire on his part. Going to gain the life right now, or no? Let's see. I can tap 4 for Armory Guard, and then I can drop Pegasus and Healer next turn. I deal 1 less damage that way, but I use my mana much more efficiently. Also, he isn't going to burn me down from 14. That was a nice draw. Thankfully we have a Gatecreeper Vine to just block. I'm just going to play only the healer because I don't have a good double block for the Crasher. Oh well, I do have a double block for the Crasher. The Crasher handles the healer on defense anyway, so if he attacks with it, I can actually offer this double block without risking too much. And I already have him in a very defensive position, except for these two utility creatures. So he does attack with both. And that means I'm going to combine two creatures. Centaur Healer is a given, and I would actually like to keep Concordia Pegasus, but Armory Guard also deals damage, guaranteed. So I'm actually going to offer him the Trestle Troll this turn. He can take it, but then I have another attacker in Centaur Healer, so I don't expect him to take the defender here. We see the double block I was talking about earlier. It's almost impossible to block this with a single creature, and I'm just going to use my Trostani's Judgment now to keep my 5/4 around. And now, as long as he doesn't draw something completely absurd, I should be able to continue with the beatdown. And hopefully we don't have to cast this. He has a Guild Mage now, but as you can see, we are virtually on 20, and he's on 7, so he needs to block the long legs starting this turn. And Rick's Mighty Guild Mage isn't that good on defense, so it's possible that he draws a creature and shambles it, but even then we would have a clock and the regenerating defender. Another nice spell on his part. Don't understand why he's waiting till I draw my card. Can you stop the Armory Guard or not? Looks like he can. No. Last man standing wins the match. See you in the finals.